If you've ever felt like there's more to what you're seeing, go ahead and subscribe. This channel is all about connecting the dots most people miss. What people hear the word paparazzi, they usually picture the same thing: photographers chasing celebrities through airports, standing outside restaurants for hours, or surrounding someone's car while cameras flash non-stop.
I know that anytime I walk out my apartment, there is a camera on me, but I may not see it. This is so industry, like Hollywood-centric, to talk about the different levels of paparazzi. In New York, they're nicer. They know I don't want to talk. They know I really don't want to hold a press conference. So they don't like ask me intrusive questions or try to provoke me or try to make me upset, which I really appreciate. They just take their pictures and then they say thank you, and they go on their way on their bikes. There's something very honest about it. It's very, very New York of them to just do their job. We're not here to be best friends. I really don't want you to say something mean, please. I'm just going to the grocery store. You're welcome to be across the street with your long lens, because God knows you're going to. You know, it's easier for me to handle.
Today, it almost feels normal. Celebrity culture and paparazzi culture have become so connected that people rarely stop to ask how it got this far, or why the obsession became so extreme in the first place. But paparazzi culture didn't begin in Hollywood. It began in Italy, and strangely enough, it began through film. To understand where the word came from, you have to understand Federico Fellini himself. Fellini was born in 1920 in Rimini, Italy, during a period of political tension and social control under Mussolini's fascist government. He grew up fascinated by performance, fantasy, and human behavior. Before becoming a director, he worked as a caricaturist and writer, which explains why so much of his filmmaking felt exaggerated, surreal, and symbolic. He paid attention to how people behaved when they were being watched, admired, or judged. When Fellini moved to Rome, he entered a city that was changing rapidly after World War II. American influence was growing, the entertainment industry was expanding, and Rome was becoming filled with actors, aristocrats, journalists, and wealthy elites. Certain areas, especially Via Veneto, became famous for nightlife and celebrity gatherings. Reporters and photographers would gather there constantly, hoping to capture famous people in vulnerable, glamorous, or scandalous moments. Fellini saw this environment up close, and in 1960 he released La Dolce Vita, one of the most influential films ever made about fame and media culture. The movie followed a journalist navigating Rome's elite social scene, surrounded by wealthy celebrities, models, actors, and nig life. But one character in particular stood out, a photographer named Paparazzo. The name sounded strange on purpose. Fellini wanted it to feel irritating, buzzing, and invasive, almost like a mosquito constantly hovering around someone. Paparazzo represented a new kind of photographer, not someone documenting history or journalism in a traditional sense, but someone feeding off attention, scandal, and access. What's interesting is that Fellini wasn't necessarily trying to invent a worldwide industry. He was criticizing one. La Dolce Vita was meant to expose the emptiness behind fame and the growing obsession with celebrity culture. But instead of serving as a warning, the imagery from the film became iconic. The word paparazzi escaped the movie and entered real life. And once it reached Hollywood, everything changed. Hollywood already understood the value of image. Studios had spent decades carefully controlling how actors were seen by the public. In the early days of cinema, celebrities were treated almost like manufactured products. Their relationships, personalities, and public appearances were heavily managed by studios because fame itself was profitable. But by the 1960s and 1970s, entertainment media started changing. Gossip magazines exploded in popularity, television coverage expanded, and audiences became obsessed with seeing celebrities outside of movies, not as characters, but as real people. That demand created a new market. Suddenly, candid photos became more valuable than professional ones. A celebrity walking out of a nightclub, arguing with a partner, holding hands with someone unexpected, crying in public, or simply looking exhausted could generate enormous attention. And attention meant money. That financial incentive changed the behavior of photographers completely. The paparazzi were no longer waiting politely for red carpet events. They began following celebrities everywhere because ordinary moments had become profitable. The more private the moment, the more valuable the image became. Over time, paparazzi culture became increasingly aggressive because the competition became ruthless. If one photographer captured an exclusive image, it could sell worldwide within hours. Agencies and tabloids were willing to pay massive amounts for photos nobody else had. That meant photographers started staking out homes, memorizing routines, tracking vehicles, monitoring relationships, and building entire networks around celebrity movement. In many ways, celebrities stopped being treated like people and started being treated like moving products whose value depended on constant visibility. And Hollywood helped fuel it. Studios, tabloids, entertainment networks, and gossip magazines all benefited from keeping celebrities under constant public attention. Even when stars complained about paparazzi harassment, the media system itself still profited from the images. Some celebrities learned to manipulate this relationship for publicity, while others became trapped by it. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, paparazzi culture had become far more extreme than anything Fellini originally portrayed.
I hate paparazzi.
Hey, y'all niggas back the fuck up. For real. I'm not
I tell paparazzi, like, yo, I'm not that guy. I'll just be driving and the kid is like, oh my God, and just start filming. Like,
Are you in the TV?
Celebrities were being chased through traffic, photographed with long-range lenses, and surrounded in massive crowds. The line between journalism and surveillance became harder to separate. One of the biggest reasons for the constant micro-watching of celebrities is because modern fame depends on visibility. In Hollywood, disappearing can sometimes mean becoming irrelevant. The entertainment industry runs on attention, and attention requires a constant stream of images, headlines, rumors, and updates. Paparazzi became part of that machine because they supplied content the public kept consuming. The system rewards whoever captures the most emotionally charged moment. Not the happiest moment. Not the most truthful moment. The most marketable one. That's why paparazzi photos often focus on breakdowns, arguments, exhaustion, weight changes, relationships, or mistakes. Calmness doesn't sell the same way chaos does. And the darker reality is that once money became attached to invasion, privacy itself became negotiable. The camera stopped being just a tool for photography and became a tool for surveillance. Celebrities could be watched leaving dinner, entering hotels, picking up groceries, or walking with their children, all because someone somewhere was willing to pay for access to their personal lives. What began as a symbolic character in an Italian film slowly evolved into a global industry built around constant observation. And decades later, society has become so used to it that many people no longer question whether the behavior is normal at all.
Selena Gomez, describe the paparazzi in 3 words.
Invasive, violating, and just disgusting.
Not a fan of the paparazzi?
No.
You don't think they help a little?
I don't mind it when they need to be there, if there's a thing that's going on, like at my fan event. Of course, I wouldn't mind that. It's just respect.
I hear you.
It's really disappointing. They're just looking for the wrong photo. If they were just like, we want to take a photo of you, you're a public photo.
No, they want back fat. They want back fat.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it.
Sure.
I would respect them more if they were just like, hey, we're just taking pictures of you because you're a known person. Like, we'll keep our space.
No way. No, that's not gonna work.
We're gonna make you look amazing in this photo.
Right.
That does not happen.
Where's your
It's
double chin? We want a
ridiculous.
picture of it.
Literally.
Right? With that being said,
And maybe that's the strangest part of all. What started as a critique of fame in an Italian film eventually became a real system that profits from watching people constantly. Federico Fellini created paparazzo as a symbol of obsession surrounding celebrity culture, but decades later, that obsession turned into an industry worth millions. The camera was originally meant to capture moments. But somewhere along the way, the goal changed. It became less about documenting reality and more about controlling attention, feeding curiosity, and turning private lives into public entertainment. And the reason paparazzi culture still exists at this level is because the demand never disappeared. As long as audiences continue watching celebrities closely, there will always be someone willing to follow them even closer. So the next time you see flashing cameras surrounding a celebrity, it's worth asking yourself something most people never do. Are paparazzi simply documenting fame? Or did society create a system where fame could no longer exist without surveillance? If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into topics people usually don't stop to question, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.